Hello, nerds. Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. This show is The Week in Nerdom, where I bring you all of the news. And actually, this version of the news show is not going to be much bigger than the syndicated version of the news show because we have nothing to talk about in gaming and comic books. Things are happening whenever there's nothing for me to talk about. Doesn't mean that there's not little things going on, just nothing that I felt was worthy of discussion. So, that being said, let's get into an intro so we can talk about the music and the TV and the movies and the rumors. A little bit of housekeeping. The obvious piece is, again, I am testing audio, so this is a different audio test that appears to be working much better than the last one, but only time will tell, I suppose. That being said, if it is bad, please let me know. If it sounds wrong or off or something, then obviously please make that known in the comments. And then also, we'll be doing a batch of reaction videos again probably tomorrow so that we can go for another week approximately with a video a day. That seems to be doing well, so definitely going to be keeping up that as much as possible. That all being said, that's all the housekeeping we've got. Let's get into the news, and first in news is always music, and we've got some stuff to talk about in music. We have first the announcement that the Chronic, the Dr. Dre, his first solo record, The Chronic from like 92, I believe, will be officially launching on all streaming platforms, not just Apple Music, but all streaming platforms on, you guessed it, on 4/20. So just in a few days. That's, I guess, kind of to be expected, right? Because it's The Chronic from Dr. Dre, and if you're going to make an announcement, if you're going to do a thing, then you're going to go big, and he definitely did that. Yeah, that's just a quickie piece. Just thought it was great. I don't know. Next, we're talking about Danzig and the Misfits. And Danzig has been quoted recently as, I believe it was even in Rolling Stone. Yeah, he was doing an interview with Rolling Stone talking about new music, and he's been saying that there might be new Misfits music in the works. He's been talking with Jerry Only and Wolfgang von Frankenstein, and they have reportedly, this is only according to Danzig, I don't believe I read anything from Only or his little brother about the potential for new music from the Misfits, but again, according to Danzig, they are discussing it, which means I kind of called it when I said, yeah, that's the last time the Misfits are going to play live. If they're putting out new music, of course they're going to play live. That's just the way that works. So as more develops on this, if more develops on this, we will definitely talk about it, but that's all we've got at the moment. Just Danzig shooting off at the mouth like he is wont to do. So we're going to move on. Next, we're talking about Blink-182, and this one's, I'm going to be doing something analysis-wise, reaction-wise, and just as a side note, if you're watching this and you also watch my reaction videos are more of an analysis. I'm obviously reacting because it's the first time I've heard the song or seen the video or whatever, but I analyze the music, so it's not just a listening party. It's not just me watching the screen going, wow, oh, did you see that? Wow. Oh, did you hear that? That's not how, no. If you want to listen to the song, go listen to the song. Or you want to watch the video I'm analyzing and reacting to, go watch that video. That's not what we're here for. Anyway, sorry. So I am going to attempt to do a Blink-182 reaction video to this song called I Really Wish I Hated You. The reason we're talking about it in the news, though, is because a version of this song has leaked. Now, this is off of the most recent Blink-182 record, and apparently this song was one of the more difficult songs to get completed for the record because it went through so many different iterations. And apparently one of those iterations had Miley Cyrus on it, and somehow it has now leaked. And apparently this is a legitimate leak too, as Mark Hoppus, who is the bass player and one of the vocalists for the band, has confirmed that he doesn't know how this leaked, but it is one of the versions of the song that did not make it onto the record. So apparently they didn't have to pay Miley her guest vocal salary, fee, whatever, because they didn't end up using the track. And now he's saying he is still working on getting to the bottom of how this leaked. So I haven't listened to it yet because, again, I'm going to try and keep the reaction as fresh as possible. I honestly haven't even listened to the album version of this song because I'm not a huge Blink fan, but it'll be fun to analyze and pick apart. So that's where that stands. That's the news on that. And now we are moving over to our last piece of music news for the section. Dragonforce has made the announcement that while they are on quarantine together, they're going to do just like every band should be doing, and actually a lot of bands are doing. But it just really awesome that Dragonforce just gave us a new record, and now that they're on quarantine, they're like, let's give them another new record. So they're working on new music, officially working on new music. To what extent at this point in time is not 100% clear. They could just be writing in their own respective homes. They could be in Herman Lee's home studio. It wasn't super clear, but they did make the announcement. Yes, we are going to be giving you new music once the quarantine is lifted. So that is awesome. That is all we have in music. Let's talk TV streaming. And honestly, as big as the episode is by comparison to the last episode, TV streaming is not any different. I don't know why there's not a whole lot going on. Well, I take it back. There's plenty going on. We're just not talking about new episodes of shows, because if you're watching a show, then go watch the show. If something crazy develops in Walking Dead, if something really bizarre happens, then yeah, well, that might be newsworthy. But by and large, I don't want to talk about individual episodes of shows. We'll talk about renewals of shows. We'll talk about brand new shows that are being developed. We'll talk about all of the rumors based on shows that aren't coming and might be coming and all of that stuff. All of that is fair game. But I think talking about individual episodes of shows, it should be reserved for a review show and not a news show, right? So again, if something big is coming down the pike, like the return of Maggie that we already know is happening on The Walking Dead, because we talked about it when it was officially happening. When they filmed it months ago, we talked about it then. So when something big like that happens, Maggie on The Walking Dead, I don't know if I said that, then we'll talk about individual episodes of shows, because, you know, that gets laid out. But we don't have anything like that. So we only have an announcement. Netflix has an exclusive first look contract with Boom Studios that takes place over the next 2 years, so that anything that gets optioned to be a series or a movie of any sort, live action or animated, gets to option. The option goes to Netflix first before anyone else can buy it. So we might be seeing like Mouse Guard. There's so many great Boom Studios properties that could be going movie side or series side, live action or animated series side, that in and of itself is super exciting to think about what they might be developing down the road for this contract. That's a lot of fun, but that is all we have for TV streaming, guys. Let's talk now about movies. And movies, we've got a little bit of actual news to talk about. I was pretty proud of myself when this filled out. First and foremost, we're not going to beat around the bush at all. The Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge movie has been released on digital as of today. And of course, I have already watched it and done a written review. After I am done filming today's news show, I will be filming a video review of the movie, so stay tuned for that on Generally Nerdy. aside from that, you should watch it yourself. I'm just gonna spoil it real quick. Not the movie, but my review. I liked it. I guess that should not come as a surprise to anybody who's been listening or watching or even really knows me. It's great. It's a whole lot of fun. Even if you were just a fan of anime, and this is a very adult animated movie. Adult meaning super violent, not adult meaning like bad taste and pointless nudity and that kind of stuff. But very, very violent and bloody. It's a whole lot of fun. If you are a fan of the mythology around Mortal Kombat, then you will have a great appreciation for this movie. I'm going to stop singing its praises, and we're going to move on to actual news. For the next piece we're touching on now is Hellraiser. We have mentioned a few times on the show that there is going to be a reboot movie for the Hellraiser franchise, and that reboot movie just got its director. David Bruckner will be the director of the reboot. Horror movie fans should recognize Bruckner's name because he is the director that did Night House. He has a couple of other credits to his name, but Night House was just the most recent one, so that's really awesome. Things are still moving forward in the quarantine. I love it. I'm so glad to hear it. In that same vein, we have update on the Salem's Lot remake. Salem's Lot has also found a director, Gary Dauberman, who did, if you remember, because you'll recognize the name, he did Annabelle Comes Home, the second Annabelle spinoff movie in the Conjuring spinoff series. And if you don't know Salem's Lot, it's one of Stephen King's vampire book. It's the Stephen King vampire. I can't remember. I don't read a lot of Stephen King because I think he's too wordy. Anyway, so yeah, awesome. I do appreciate the Stephen King properties, even though I'm not the biggest fan of his books. Anyway, so that's what we have there. And then our final piece in movies is, of course, has to do with Disney. We can't go for too long without talking about them. Sometimes they're the only ones that have news going on. So, yeah, what we have now is Robin Hood, the 1973 animated movie where Robin Hood is a fox, and it's honestly one of my favorite animated Disney movies. Freaking love that one. Yeah, that one. That movie is getting remade, and it's going to be remade in the same or similar vein to Lion King, only hopefully this time we'll get emotion on the faces of the animals, because it's going to be a combination of live action and CG. By and large, I would imagine it'll be mostly CG. I can't imagine they're going to dress up actual animals to look like Robin Hood and Maid Marian and so on and so forth, but I mean, it's Disney. They can do whatever they want, pretty much. They're printing their own money these days. I'm generally speaking, I'm not the hugest fan of the remakes and the live actionizing of their stuff, because I know what it is. It's just it's their attempt, or it's their doing of they're re-upping their ownership of the property. So that's really what they do. I just love this movie so much. I'm really interested to see what they do with a quote unquote live action / CG version of this movie. So yeah, I'm definitely on board. Now, like I said, we have no gaming, we have no comic books, so that puts us into rumors territory, guys. So rumors, we've got an interesting one to kick things off. We remember we've been talking about Kang the Conqueror and how we're likely going to be introduced to Kang the Conqueror in very possibly the Loki series, and then there's been rumblings that he might be the big bad going forward to some degree in the MCU. Maybe just a single phase big bad. Maybe he's the final phase 6 big bad. We don't know. We just know that there's those rumblings. Now, going along those same lines, there is a new rumor that says that not only are we going to be getting Kang the Conqueror, but he's going to be played by Kelsey Grammer. Yeah, very interesting. There are a number of rumors kicking around about Kelsey Grammer joining the MCU officially. If you will remember, he has already done a Marvel character. He played Beast for a few movies and kind of kicked ass as Beast, which was really weird to think of Kelsey Grammer as an action movie star, but there it is. It's live on celluloid, right? So that's interesting to think about. But the other rumor kicking around about Kelsey Grammer is not that he's going to be King the Conqueror, but that he is going to be the new reimagined version of Norman Osborn in the Spider-Man universe. So, I mean, technically he could potentially do both, since Spider-Man is Sony and Kang is Marvel, so it wouldn't really be the same It's probably not going to happen. I don't know why I'm talking like that. I feel like Kang would be the more interesting way to deal with Kelsey Grammer in the MCU, just based on the Kelsey Grammer's acting history. It kind of feels a little more comfortable to have him as Kang. Norman Osborn is not a bad choice for him. I just feel like Kang is a better choice. But that's what we've got there. Now let's talk about Ezra Miller. And then associated with that, we're going to talk about The Flash. But Ezra Miller, there's a number of rumors, and this is definitely not news, but there is a number of rumors that because of the news around Ezra Miller, that he's totally killed not just his career, but the entire Flashpoint movie. Because he has been such a champion of the movie, and because of his, questionable reason for being in the news outside of being a movie star recently, that has just completely killed the project altogether. Also, there is a rumor that because of that, he is now being removed from the third Fantastic Beasts movie. But then there's still another rumor having to do with the Flashpoint movie that says that Warner Brothers wants to do this movie even if Ezra Miller is not a part of the project. So these two rumors kind of conflict with one another. Are we going to see a Flashpoint movie? I would be surprised at this point. I feel like the rumor that we discussed last time talking about Wonder Woman, the Wonder Woman 84 movie, kind of taking some of those big plot points that they were going to use in the Flashpoint movie and adapting them to that story. That one seems to make a little bit more sense, but I really have no great basis on that. That's just kind of the impression that I get based on a lot of the other news and such that we've been discussing. So that is that. Next, we're talking about, and this one might be my favorite piece for the entire episode, we're talking about Lando Calrissian. Yes, that one character from that one space saga movie. Lando Calrissian, there are a few rumors circulating around right now that there is going to be there are at least two series in development over at Disney+. So the first series in development would see Donald Glover reprise the role as Lando. It would be a spin-off from the Solo movie. So we would get Kira and Darth Maul as well in this series. Kira, once again, being played by the Mother of Dragons. So that would be freaking awesome in and of itself. Like, I loved... There were very small aspects of the Lando Calrissian in the Solo movie that I didn't like, but overall, I really loved Donald Glover doing that part. I really just think Donald Glover is kind of brilliant in anything he does, so that's probably a large portion of that. But yes, this should happen for sure. Let's see Darth Maul in live action in series. Let's see Kira become this bad person and why we don't see her in Solo's life beyond that first movie. I want all of that to transpire on film in front of me because I think it's going to be great. And along those same lines, there is another rumor, and this is a side to the Lando portion. We'll get to the second Lando series in a second, but there is another rumor saying that not only are Kira and Darth Maul going to be in the Lando Calrissian, one of these series, but also, if it does well, they both will get a spin-off from this series. So, yeah, let's do that. At the very least, let's get a Maul series. Come on, man. How could you not do a Darth Maul series, even if the Lando series doesn't go smashingly, like if it just does kind of middle of the road. The Maul series would just be like, if done correctly, could be more successful than The Mandalorian. There, I said it. All right, so the other Lando series that is reportedly in early stages of development would see Billy D. Williams reprise the role, and it would be a spinoff from The Rise of Skywalker, where we see Billy D. Williams and the girl at the end of the movie, who everyone is assuming is his daughter, which was very vague, though heavily implied. What was her name? Jana. There we go. So this second series would see Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian take Jana, who again we all assume is his daughter, and find out her true parentage. This one seems a little more like a limited run style series. So if this does happen, very likely it'll only be like 6 or 8 episodes. Still would be a whole lot of fun because Billy D is always a win. Almost as much as Donald Glover is always a win. So yeah, I honestly, if both of these series make it to Disney Plus, I think that would be a huge win. I don't think both of them will make it to Disney Plus. I feel like it's a either or kind of situation because they're really big on, at least at this very instant in time, they're really big on trying to stay focused on a single part of a thing at a time, because again, that's why the Kevin Smith series got kicked to the side, because he was using way too much of the IP is what they told him. So if him using a bunch of different IPs from Disney in one series is too much, then having 2 series based on one IP probably is going to be a similar situation. So, this one I'm just going to pass off to you guys. Which one would you rather see? Would you rather see the young Lando series, which again seems to have more potential to go on for many years, or the old Lando series, which would give Billy D. Williams some work for a little while? That's all we've got on that. Again, let me know in the comments, or however you can get a hold of me. Let me know that. Next, we are talking about Resident Evil 4. That's right. Capcom is continuing, apparently. This is rumor at the moment, though it sounds like if we are going to see Resident Evil 4, the announcement is going to be made very, very soon that they are working on it. But Resident Evil 4 is reportedly in the works, and Dino Crisis fans are losing their minds. Sorry, guys. Resident Evil is just a better series. Dino Crisis was not bad, but Resident Evil is the cash cow for Capcom. That and Street Fighter, and Capcom doesn't need to make any other games. So that's a quickie there. And then our final piece in rumors has to do with The Mask, that we have been talking about a number of times in rumors. And also we got confirmed that the character, at least, of The Mask is going to be in Space Jam. And it very well looks like it might actually be Jim Carrey playing it in Space Jam, but that's not the rumor. The rumor is that this movie is not only going to see The Rock be the villain for The Mask in this soft reboot, Lega sequel, however you want to put it. Not only is The Rock going to be the villain, but also we are going to see Cameron Diaz come out of acting retirement, because that's a thing you can do in your freaking 40s is retire when you are a famous person. So I think it sounds like the initial rumor that I read just said Cameron Diaz is coming back, but then there was other sources that are saying, well, it sounds like she's going to be a cameo at best if she comes back for this movie at all. It would be really awesome. That's the first movie she was in, so it would be kind of cool that it would be the last movie that she was in as well. I'm really not holding my breath for that. The first half of this rumor, though, The Rock as the villain, I think that's awesome. I think that is a role that is perfect for The Rock. Like, just the total cartoon. Yeah, let's see cartoon muscles come and fight with cartoon guns. That's, yes, please and thank you. That's all we have for rumors, guys. And actually, that's all we have for the episode. So what did I miss? What should we talk about next week? Let me know in the comments there, or in the next episode, I guess. Let me know in the comments down below. If, though, you want to go deeper into the conversation, then jump over to the website, generallynerdy.net. That is the place for all the freebies and the written review of movies and such. If I do a video portion, it's either here or on the Big Show Entertainment Media Network. So go check those places out. For the video reviews of things, trying to get more written reviews. I have 2 that I need to write that I've been watching while I can't really go anywhere outside of here and work. But they're kind of slow going. I might have to actually rewatch the movies because it's been a little while since I watched them. Anyway, so we're still doing the sign off. Yeah. Website, generallynerdy.net, patreon.com/generallynerdy is the place that you can help me keep things going. You can actually become a contributor over on patreon.com/generallynerdy. There is a $5 tier that you can become a part of each of these episodes if you are on that tier. You don't have to join at $5, though. There is a single dollar tier, just $1 a month, and you get all of the back catalogs of everything. Everything that I've put on private here in the YouTubes is up there for you to see in all of its glory. So check all of that out. The back episodes of the audio podcast, so you can listen to the news while you're going to work. All of that exists over on the Patreon, patreon.com/generallynerdy. While you are here, though, on the YouTube channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and please let people know that I'm doing this because I feel like I'm contributing to the conversation, right? The conversation at large. So if you feel the same way, don't forget to click the thumbs up. Tell people about it in whatever way you can, be it on social medias or just word of mouth. All of that is super, super helpful. And click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't forget also, you can check one of these 2 boxes right here below my face. They will take you to other things that are happening here on the channel. Before we officially sign off, guys, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.